the high ticket mastermind game plan that you can make amazing income and impact. Let's dive into this episode of The Happy Hustle.
Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Cary Jack, and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model/actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco-warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. It is time to happy hustle your dream reality.
High ticket masterminds can change your life, both as an attendee and as the host. But specifically today, I'm talking about how you can increase your income and your impact by throwing high ticket masterminds. What's up, y'all? My name is Cary Jack, and I am a lifestyle entrepreneur. I am the USA Today best-selling author of The Happy Hustle, top 1% globally ranked podcast host, and founder of The Happy Hustle, which, by the way, hosts, well, this year, 8 different high-ticket masterminds. And I want to break down the exact formula of how you can throw masterminds yourself for your business. And I think with AI right now, more and more people crave community. They crave live in-person events. And so I believe, my prediction, I'm calling the shot, that in-person live events like masterminds are going to blow up in the next decade. So if you want to be on the forefront, you want to start to monetize your message and increase your income and your impact by throwing these amazing events, then stick around to the end. And I'm also going to break down the process so you can follow it step by step. Now, first and foremost, we want to start with the vision when we're talking about a mastermind. So what does it look like? Curating those transformational premium experiences that blend the business growth, the lifestyle optimization, and the aligned adventures to serve founders, high achievers, purpose-driven entrepreneurs. That's what ours are all about, okay? Now, this is the core pillars that you need to think about. You got marketing, sales, and fulfillment. So there's 3 core pillars. 1, marketing, generate interest and warm leads. 2, sales, qualify and close those high ticket leads into clients. And then 3, fulfillment, deliver a world-class, memorable, and high converting experience. So you actually want to start with fulfillment first. Okay. So when you're building your mastermind game plan, you want to actually think, all right, I need to get creative on what am I actually fulfilling. As it's said, you can't sell what you haven't built, right? So you got to start here. I don't know who said that, but it's a good quote. All right, so think about a couple things. I'm just going to hit you with some of them. Location, right? Decide, is it a signature retreat location? Is it multiple per year? What are you thinking? Is it private? Is it public venue? Is it a rented venue? Is it something you own? You got to get clear. Like, we host these Montana Mastermind epic camping adventures where we take amazing entrepreneurs in the remote backcountry wilderness for connection and adventure. So we do ours out in the wilderness, at least one of them. Then lodging, you got to think about duration. 3 to 5 days, I think, is the ideal sweet spot to really bond. As it says in science, 96 hours it takes to go from an acquaintance to an actual friend. So if you can, get people to come to your event for that long, it's a great thing to have them because they'll forge these bonds that are way deeper. So you have to think about those things, the options that are included in the lodging, how are you going to do food, as well as a huge topic. Like, are you doing private chefs, healthy catering? Is everyone on their own? What does it look like food-wise? Transportation-wise, you have to think about those things as well. Is that included? Are you picking people up? Are they on their own? Are you having a shuttle? All the things, right? So then you want to think about the sample day, like actual programming, because when you know the programming, then you can sell it a lot more efficiently and effectively, okay? So I break down ours down in like 1 hour, like blocks, just really specific. And it's not over-programmed because you can do that too, but you want to make sure that you have stuff planned out ahead of time with like a purpose behind each. You also then want to think about the curriculum, right? Like, what are the 3 to 5 major takeaways that you want people to leave with? And get really clear on that. Ours covers personal and professional. So we go deep into both because that's what the Happy Hustle is all about, right? Systematically harmonizing ambition and well-being, aka crushing it personally and professionally. Okay, so you have to think about that. Then you have to think about staffs and the roles that you might need, right? The host and the facilitator, the experience coordinator, your ops person, right? Chef or a food lead, videographer, photographer. Highly recommend that because you want to capture the moment, and then you leverage those testimonials. Do you need medical safety? Do you need assistance? Whatever it is. You're bringing in guest speakers. You have to think about all these different logistics. Then you want to think about safety and risk management, right? So are you pre-screening people ahead of time? I highly recommend everyone has signed waivers, NDAs, media release forms. Yes, we make people sign NDAs for our stuff because it's like the Vegas rule for the Happy Hustle. What happens in the wilderness stays in the wilderness, because we want to really open up a safe container for our members to be vulnerable and to get real advice and real insight and share from the heart. So you want to think about emergency backup plans in that case as well. You want to think about, all the different things legally. All right, there's a lot of paperwork. You want to also maybe consider event insurance, just in case. So refund policies are huge when it comes to the technicalities. Definitely have a refund policy on the front end. Contracts with signatures, these are very important. And then you want to think about swag and keepsakes, right? Are you giving them welcome stuff, hats, shirts, binders? We print these handbooks for all our guys that have, the schedule and everything. And it's a great keepsake for them, as well as it lets them keep their notes in there. And so all that stuff is important on the fulfillment side, merch, water bottles, etc. And then cost and pricing strategy. So you must consider, what are you selling this thing for, right? You got to aggregate all your hard costs first, and then you probably want to leave at least a 10 to 15% buffer just for unexpected costs. And then you want to calculate a margin target. I highly recommend at least 50%, or else it probably won't be worth your while. And so an example here is maybe your all-in costs are like $1,500. I would recommend probably charging around $5 to $10 grand if you can. Maybe if your 10 grand is your hard cost, okay, well then you want to increase accordingly based on your margins. That's going to be your net take home. You also want to compensate your time for event management and all the stuff that you've had to put into it. So that is the fulfillment piece. Okay, now we're going to talk marketing. So you want to speak directly to the person who you are looking for, right? Your ideal client profile. Who is it? Both psychographics and demographics. You need to create the event for them, the marketing copy for that person. Then you think about the marketing channels, right? So you got free content that you can post on your social media. You got paid ads. You got your warm leads and your cold leads, like your cold outreach and your warm referrals. So those are kind of the core ones, but you really need to think about, how are you going to get people in? Are you going to run paid traffic? Are you going to do cold outreach? Are you going to do free content? Are you going to get referrals? What's the game plan, right? And you also should hopefully be leveraging brand partners when it comes to marketing. You can bring in a lot of other partners that have a following that you can boost your brand and your event awareness accordingly. And then a couple big things too is have a wait list when it comes to marketing. If possible, people are going to drop out, so you want to have a wait list ready to go just in case. Just recently one of our guys had to drop out for an emergency, and I had a fill-in ready to go, and it worked out great. So you want to think about, for the assets here, really having a sales page. You want a pre-qualification form, a checkout page, calendar links. I like to do a pre-trip call and a post-trip call as well. And then you have to layer in scarcity and urgency as well into your marketing copy. More on that when we talk about sales. So that's the marketing game plan right there in a nutshell. And again, I'm kind of running through it, but you get the picture. The sales. Now, you really need to make sure that you're not just trying to sell it, but you're actually inviting them to an opportunity. That's the vibe. That's the energy, right? So the sales process, you got to get really clear on that. Lead capture, first and foremost, like an opt-in, a wait list, a pre-application page. Then you want that qualification call, discover, disarm, diagnose, deliver, You could use the roadmap script. We have the roadmap sales process. Highly recommend checking that out. Roadmap stands for rapport, obstacle, aspiration, demonstration, match, ask, pull. And that's like the talk track that I use to convert. And I have a pretty decent conversion ratio, and I've sold millions of dollars using that exact framework. So just, if it ain't broke, don't attempt to fix it. Just maybe use that one. Unless you have a better one and you feel more confident, go ahead. Okay, qualification, you got that. Then a close, really think about the close. Is it a one-time close? Is it a follow-up? How are you going to sell it so that people actually convert? Then onboarding is very important. Welcome email, onboarding package. How did you collect the payment? Making sure that's clear. The pre-trip access. Are you having a group chat? Are you sending them gear list or prep exercises? And you just need to think about that. Are you closing it? Are you having an assistant help close it? Are you paying commission? What does that all look like, right? So those are kind of the three different main buckets: marketing, sales, fulfillment. Again, we started with fulfillment, but that's really the game plan. Now you want to talk about the fulfillment SOPs and the different things that are associated. So I like to, definitely make sure that like 60 days out, they get touch points. Then 30 days out, there is another touch point. Then 2 weeks out, then 7 days out, 1 day out, right? You get the picture. You want to have those regular touch points and those milestones. So a little kind of sample timeline here when you're building this all out. Milestone, like 12 weeks out, you want to 10 to 12, lock in that location, finalize the pricing. About 9 weeks out, hopefully sooner, but 9 to 8 weeks out, build that sales page, launch the content. 8 to 6 weeks out, you could do your marketing strategies, if that's paid ads, warm outreach, cold outreach. 6 to 4 weeks out, sales calls, onboarding. 4 to 2 weeks out, finalize logistics and send welcome kit and then obviously run the event. So you could obviously delay that timeline, but that's like the shortest timeline possible. I think you need at least 3 to 4 months to prep for a mastermind efficiently and effectively. And that's kind of the mastermind game plan at a high level. Now, if you want the breakdown, you can email Cary at thehappyhustle.com. We'll get you a PDF download of this exact game plan. I love masterminds. I think they really have the power to transform lives. And so I hope you got some value. If you want to check out one of our masterminds, you can go to thehappyhustle.com/masterminds. We have a ton of really cool masterminds that basically help you put the happy in your hustle and embody our ethos. But regardless, I highly recommend doing masterminds for yourself and then also potentially considering hosting them for your business. It is a game changer. That's it, everybody. If you got some value, share this with somebody. I'm out. Peace and love, everyone.